I would now like to introduce our student speaker for the year. She started out in our program as an intermediate level ESOL student. Despite the challenges that the pandemic and having a small child posed to getting to class, she moved up to the intermediate level this year, the advanced level this year. Thank you to the instructor of that class, David Buckhalter, who supported her in drafting her speech for her tonight. Please give a big, warm round of applause for this year's WAEP student speaker, Kine.
Woohoo!
Good evening. My name is Kine. Tonight, I'm going to speak to you about how important it has been for me to take English classes with the ESOL program through Banquet Public Library. There is cultural diversity. You can find anyone of any color, any type of skin, any city, any language. Everyone is welcome. That's why I'm wearing my cultural clothing, the name of which is Chosan Lebu. My message is to boost people. Do not be afraid. There we work hand in hand, step by step, no harassment, we work like a family. The English that I learned in the program was the key to many opportunities. But before I tell you about the doors that opened to me, I'm going to tell you how it began. I came to Rhode Island, leaving everything I had behind in Senegal, West Africa. I left my family, I left my friends, I left my work. But the most important was my mom. She was the rock of my whole life. I had planned that my mother and I would see each other very soon after I arrived in Rhode Island. I had just given birth and was looking forward to my mother meeting my baby. I had imagined her helping me to take care of her, giving her a bath, playing with her, things like that. One day, we were talking together on a video call and she passed away. I couldn't believe it. In that moment, I lost the rock of my world. It was the worst moment of my life. Being an only daughter, my mother was my world. I was broken. This lady had done everything for me, and now that I had to honor her, she was gone. A part of me was also gone with her. She was always by my side, and I realized that my life could never be like before. But one day, my husband and his father advised me to take classes to change my routine a little. So I called to register. I was placed on the waiting list. I was waiting. Eventually, I just went to the English program at the Banquet Library. When I first arrived there with my child in a stroller, they welcomed me. They were so kind, and a woman whose name is Margarita was so good to me that I didn't want to leave. I did the entrance test with my child on my arms. Sometimes she cried, sometimes she scared to get out of the room, but I didn't give up. When I passed the exam, I started to have confidence in myself. Then I got into the class of my English teacher, David, one of the best teachers I ever met. He has an infectious joie de vivre. There, it was not just a class, but a family. Our connection was incredible. We laughed, we learned, we told stories. We took the time to chat and take photos together. One day, my teacher advised me to do something with my English skills. I had just acquired in the class, something that would help me to get a job. And I chose a pharmacy technician course. 2 weeks ago, I earned my diploma. Here it is. I want to thank my husband and my father-in-law and his wife. I also want to thank all of the people at the Banquet Library ESOL English program. I dedicate this success in tribute to my mother. Thank you.